Seconds away from CMD's ice block. Can they push for it? Ironbark, when he gets caught on a polymorph, the Ironbark may not matter. 10 seconds away, 8 seconds away for it. Can they gun down for the kill? Cauterize about to trigger. 4 seconds, 3 seconds away, 2 seconds, 1 second.
Oh my goodness! Oh my god! My heart is still racing from that ice block. To be careful, they need to keep the heals going for just a little bit longer. Looney has his trinket available, but that means blind is also available. I'd love to see him just trinkets. He needs to keep his DK in the fight. DR blind, Waz is pushing for the kill. Does he have enough vanish? Garou, do they have the polymorph? It doesn't look like it just yet. Even the Vivify is coming in, but it will not be enough. Method Black go through to the grand final.
And now it's going to be up to Diabolos. Who are they going to get the crowd control on? It looks like Zuniaki. He's caught into a full blind. The Spite's rolling in. Do they get the sap? The sap. And Zuniaki's going to be in a lot of trouble. But Gelu, he's caught into a cyclone. I don't think he got his Spite down.
He didn't.
Cassidy really disrupting this attempt on Zuniaki. But no, the thing's going beyond. It's so much damage. Hammer of Justice. They shred through it. Zuniaki gets absolutely deleted. Nicely done by Gelu, stopping Zuniaki from landing that fear. They're doing a great job. But Clyde gets caught anyways. Cassidy gets caught into a kidney shot, a random Spite coming in. Gelu trying to get some value out of that, but it looks like it is going to be Gelu's ice block. Still has the cauterize, maybe didn't want to use it. There was actually no crowd control on Clyde. I'm a bit surprised to see that ice block, but maybe just doesn't want to fall too far behind. Acro getting extremely low as Clyde gets caught into a stun. There was just no defense left.
The trinket from N'Zoth to survive while his healer's crowd controlled. Clyde gets interrupted. He's actually being poked a little bit. I don't think they're going to commit to him. Gelu gets knocked away. They want Acro. They know he doesn't have evasion for 10 more seconds. Zuniaki gets in position for potentially the game-winning Psychic Scream, and it will net them the kill, bringing his team back to Game 5. Zuniaki MVP. All right, stun lock combo here. Acro in a bit of trouble. If they land this freezing trap, they don't find it. Unfortunately, Facile disengages over. Acro is just dying to nothing, seemingly. Clyde gets freezing trapped. He doesn't want to overlap with Cloak of Shadows, but he has to. He's forced to. His hand was quite literally forced. Now kicked instantly on it. Acro's just going to get chomped out of Game 5. Beautiful aggression by Cassidy and Facile.
He's down around 50% health. Burley's kind of struggling to keep him alive. And if we look at mana, surprisingly even at this point. I mean, Looney's been able to hold on, sustain. I'm not sure if he saw a drink, but that's not going to matter. Blizzo gets absolutely obliterated.
Rocking it from his Azerite trait, looking to build up a lot of damage. Stun onto Munkarn from the Primal Earth Elemental, holding him in place, trying to min-max them as much as possible. And that assault did get them a slight mana advantage moving forward. Looney charging in. Hammer of Justice on Burley. Lightning Lasso. Beautiful timing. Can they finish him off here? Earthshock Star Surge. KO. Can't activate the Trinket Link or the Karma in time. And that's going to be lights out. And the first time in probably 2 years that a Boomkin has won a tournament game. Looney needs to buy time for 7 more seconds. His Avenging Wrath so close to being off cooldown, but he's absolutely being decimated and has to Divine Shield 1 second before his Avenging Wrath was available. Mana is in favor of the Bergen boys. Cooldowns are now massively in favor as well. Looney paralyzed at low health. Morrow getting bursted. No Barkskin jumping into bear form. Catching a big heal with the Avenging Wrath. Dashing away from the Fists of Fury while charging as well, as we see Wildcard Gaming desperately retreat.
See, Looney still low. Zeepai taking a huge hit and gets absolutely obliterated.
But they don't find it. Burley recovers with the chain heal. Zeepai now stunned up. Looney paralyzed. They're going after Zeepai, but Joel gets blasted by Morrow's Incarnation. They're really not respecting it at this time. They're attacking into Thorns. This is just devastating. How is Burley going to heal through this damage? His team needs to stop hitting into Thorns. They cycle a Munkarn at low health on the anti-magic zone. They're all out in midfield. They are just set up like fish in a barrel right now for this Moonkin Elemental Shaman. They're getting torn absolutely apart. Burley now into the Hammer of Justice. He's getting blasted down. He's absolutely decimated. Wildcard Gaming with full control. Take it to Game 5. Anti-magic shield activates for Joel, absorbing some hits. Looney is basically tapped. If he gets purged on his innervate, it's going to be game over, but already engaged with the double blinding sheet. They counter-engage with the blinding sheet. He gets pulled back in on his flying serpent kick. Monkard and Joel in a lot of trouble in this position. Who's going to fall first? Paralyzed onto Looney. He can't activate that innervate. He needs to make sure it doesn't get dispelled. He goes for the innervate anyway. Burley's not in position to purge it. He would love to purge it, but he's getting so much value, a Tranquility and a Thorns out of that innervate, and Burley has to Spirit Link as he was trying to reposition for purges. He's stunned up. The entire team is about to be triple killed by Wildcard Gaming. Burley needs to hold on for 28 more seconds. If he can live to the Ascendance, he'll recover, but I don't think he's going to make it. He's pulling off a miracle right now to hold out this long. 20 more seconds to get to that Ascendance. Chain heal after chain heal, but gripped into the chill streak. He runs away, and Ghost Wolf hovering so low on health. 13 more seconds to make it out of this alive. Blizzo might just die. Are they actually going to take Blizzo out? He flying serpent kicks back, but he gets death gripped on it and KO'd. Burley with miracle heals, keeping the team going. Defeat the European Titans. Wildcard Gaming 3-2.
Also do want to take a look here. I saw that Waz did tweet a little bit earlier. He said we are going to play soon. Also forgot to let you guys know, but we are top 6 in the winners bracket at the moment. Had a rough time getting here. I hope we do well today, but honestly, TR meta is XD compared to live. So let's talk about what
does that mean?
XD means. Yeah, what does XD mean? Do you know, Sid? Do you know what a RAR XD means?
A RAR XD means?
So
Is that like
I
the
feel
emu?
So I think what he might be referring to, if I could take a stab at it, is on live in the past. I mean, it's a little bit different with some of the changes that have been implemented now with the corruption vendor, but in the past, it was really difficult to get the corruptions that you actually wanted. So, and one of those corruptions we've been talking about is, percent versatility, increasing your versatility. That paired with conflict and strife is really strong into, what Waz likes to play, which is that assassination rogue. So on TR, teams going, horde to be orcs, stacking versatility, playing conflict and strife. It makes it really difficult to play rogue mage against a lot of these teams. And I think that might be one of the frustrating things for him, and would certainly be different on the tournament realm than on live.
Control Tiki fully blinded. Gladiator spikes have been launched. They need Ride the Wind. They need to get Rezus to get Ride the Wind down as soon as possible. He gets cheap shot on his Ride the Wind.
Oh, no.
That was beautiful by Waz, totally denying the freedom effect. And
over.
Tiki
It's
is
over.
absolutely being devastated. That cheap shot from Waz absolutely owned Enigma in game 1.
That was game winning. That was the difference between winning and losing the game.
Infernion with no trinket is susceptible now to that blind spite all-in, and if they can prevent Rezus from dropping Ride the Wind, he could easily be erased.
I'm really curious what broke the initial polymorph on Tiki. I mean, that's the reason why we're seeing Enigma have all this pressure. They committed a lot. I mean, double shimmer. Waz committed his stuns as well in order to get that crowd control. Now a big attempt on Rezus. He's in trouble. He got cheap shot on his trinket, and he's just going to be taken down. It immediately gets reapplied, yeah.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no, sapped in cat form. Oh, you don't want to be sapped in cat form. He's standing in the purple circles. He trinkets into a reset. It's dead. It's dead, I think. There's no way. They just press every button. Just press every button. He's dead. How are you going to make it out alive? Hammer of Justice nailed in here. You can't get sapped in cat. It's over. The game is over if you're sapped in cat.
Talking about the last game, and they're already
dead.
Yeah, I mean, that is something to be said. Like I said, there's no free wins in this tournament. The competition has leveled up higher than really I've ever seen it before. There's just so many good rosters. Spike Trinket's coming in. Looks like they're actually going to try to go after Fashion, but Morrow cauterized procs. He's in a lot of trouble. It is going to be his ice block as well. So Morrow forced very defensive during that go. Can they take down Fashion? Big damage coming in. It is the leg sweep into the Stormbolt. Beautiful setup from Wildcard Gaming. Polymorph onto Fashion, triple spike trinket, double stun coming in with combustion, and that is it.
They don't get the polymorph. Maybe it doesn't matter on any resolve. 2 seconds away from Life Cocoon, 1 second away. Life Cocoon activates instantly as soon as it's available from Fashion. Blizzo in a bit of trouble using his trinket aggressively. He may regret it if he gets caught in a stun during Infernal Dark Soul. Are they going to go after Blizzo? It doesn't look like it. Limps is trying to chase down Looney. Limps, why are you going after Looney? He's polymorphed so far away from the fight now. Grapple weapon as well. Limps needs to get back and assist his team leaping in, but now the polymorph has already landed. He uses the commanding shout. He gets a boost of health. Will it be enough this deep into dampening? It's going to be falling shortly, and with it, likely defeat for Hyoka. Another polymorph lands. Rally falls. Hyoka will be obliterated. The next crowd control could close the game, but Blizzo might have overextended. Hyoka looking to snipe him. Spell Reflect manages to drop through, but Looney gets spell locked. Hyoka hard carrying the team in these final moments right now. If he finds the fear on Looney, they go for Paralyze. Looney sneaks in the life cocoon right before it lands. Both healers in crowd control. Who will fall first? It looks like Slow Cool is the one who is so far on the back foot. Double crowd control. Nobody can help. And Blizzo will finish the job. Everybody is getting cleaved down in game number 1. This could be a cross kill. This could come down to 2v2, maybe even 1v1. Tiki and Zuniaki are both crowd controlled, but the lead is in favor of Enigma. They have all the momentum. Facile gets life cocoon, but now Cassidy doesn't have anything. He stuns Infernion. Facile needs to get back on target as soon as possible. He's way too far away from the fight. Cassidy gets stun locked up and bursted down, but he's survival instincts on a thread of health. Double Mortal Coil by Infernion. If he finds a Chaos Bolt, he could close the game, but he's just outright getting chomped. Cassidy and Facile navigate through that match expertly to drag it on and win in dampening. That is going to cost the Vitality Conduit of Zuniaki. Damage is available for Infernion. Can he find a Chaos Bolt? Only the Interrupt of the Hunter available. Cassidy re-stuns him. Dark Soul still up for a moment. Infernion just needs to find one Chaos Bolt. He could close this out. Aspect of the Turtle has to be traded even without a Chaos Bolt, and Tolvaron Arena and some of the changes from Tiki, I believe he's changed his Major Essence to Lucid Dreams to maintain his mana. I mean, it's just better play, better builds, and it's going to net them a win in game number 2. Enigma tie it up.
That really makes the difference against the Destruction Warlock. Feigned Death by Facile, really nicely done, getting that damage reduction on the Touch of Death coming in from Rezus. Facile keeps himself alive with that Feigned Death on the Touch of Death. Now, without that available, Cassidy and Facile, they're going to be feeling relatively healthy. There's not too many offensive cooldowns available for Enigma right now. Zuniaki should be able to stabilize, but Zuniaki's mana is not doing great. The double leg sweep comes in. There's the Paralyze, and good night.
And Tiki easily sits through that freezing trap, but like you were saying, Vinruki, why is Infernion not just running the Imp? I feel like that's the most safe way for him to win this. Just dispel every freezing trap, drag it into dampening, and overwhelm your opponents. It seems pretty bulletproof.
It definitely does, but I mean, he seems pretty bulletproof without it, if I'm being honest. There hasn't been too much danger on Inferni outside of that one Spike Go. It seems like they just always have an answer, so maybe they feel like they can afford to give up that added defense for the offense, and it will pay off. Dark Soul gets popped out. Ride the Wind coming in from Rezus, allowing Infernion a little bit of additional mobility. Looney's falling behind. He's caught in a fear out of a Paralyze. And now Morrow, he's on the run once again, getting polymorphs on Tiki. Now they're trying to get aggressive. They get the Unending Resolve. This is big. This is huge for Wildcard Gaming. They get that massive defensive cooldown. This is their attempt at 35% dampening. They just close it out right here, right now. And that's all it takes. I mean, Tiki. There it is, the fear, full Ring of Frost. Infernion, he is left all alone, caught into a stun, but there's not too much damage. Nice leg sweep from Rezus is going to peel Morrow and Blizzo away, just giving Infernion a little bit more room to breathe. Really good backup there by Rezus to keep his team in it. We are at 50% dampening in the game. Morrow now getting caught into a Chaos Bolt potentially here. If Infernion can actually land it. No, it doesn't look like he's able to. Blizzo just all over him, shutting him down, and this is the critical point in dampening where the damage is just too overwhelming. Looney with nice crowd control, actually playing that Song of Chi-Ji.
Here, Blizzo actually the target initially, but as Morrow comes out of invisibility as he has, I imagine Rezus is immediately going back to him, stun locking him, spell lock on Looney, very aggressive stance here, big motorcycle on Morrow, huge burst damage, beautiful crowd control across the board. They get the fear out of the leg sweep. This is absolutely the most insane setup we've seen from Enigma. They net the cauterize 30 seconds into the game. If they manage to pull that off a couple more times in a row, that's how they're going to win the game.
Whoa, Rezus, think from beyond. He's had enough. He's going to be playing, I think he's just going to be over-corrupted. I'd be curious to see how much corruption he has in this matchup, but whenever you see those things from beyond spawn, that basically means, you know what, we have no other choice. We have to make a deal with N'Zoth to really amp up that damage, and I can imagine He has gushing wounds on every single piece of gear that he has right now. Just trying to tip Morrow over, trying to get out that consistent damage because, I mean, they have to win early. And if, I mean, being overly corrupted is how they win early, that's definitely going to be interesting. But you can see Morrow, Blizzo, and Looney, they've actually kind of read this situation. They are going to be using the Spite Trinket. And now Infernion, if he's using too much corruption, this could really backfire here as he's just stuck in these Spite pools, getting overly corrupted. Morrow and Blizzo are going to be doing burst damage. They might just take him down right away. There's so much damage on Infernion right now. Forced to use the Unending Resolve so early on, and that is what can happen. Wildcard Gaming, bit of tricksters here, realizing that Infernion and Rezus had to take a gamble, and they are really punishing them for that.
Yeah, game one, they thought they were going to play Spite. They played Ride the Wind. They were ready for it. They didn't play it. Then game two, they dropped it. They still didn't play it. But now in game three, they're playing that Spite Trinket. And that Spite Trinket could just take the series as Tiki is still continuously crowd controlled. Infernion will get crushed. That was a mind game of a mind game of a mind game. Earthen Wall Totem. He's pretty much guaranteed to get the value if he uses it right after a blink. Unfortunately, actually getting caught in a polymorph there. Maybe a miscommunication on the interrupts. Only the Spear Hand Strike was available. Raikou blinked out of range of it. Now this crowd control chain is quite deadly as Monkarn trades Karma. They bop off Touch of Karma. They're going all or nothing once again. Both Burley and Joel can't assist. Locked down for quite some time. Monkarn getting soloed by Waz around the corner. He paralyzes Waz, but the paralyze breaks. He just gets dropped. Beautiful combination of crowd control by Method Black, and I like that they are not afraid to get dirty and take risks, using both Blessing and Protections to remove Karma, realizing that mana would be an issue for them in the late game.
They get the anti-magic zone, but that was a really bizarre anti-magic zone. I mean, it was no Vendetta, it was no Combustion. That seemed like, honestly, a little bit of a panic there by Joel.
I mean, maybe he's baiting them because now he's thinking, well, Method Black will play aggressive because I just threw my anti-magic zone. Maybe he's like throwing it to bait them to go aggressive and then they try and counter push or something. But if that isn't what it is, then that's 100% a throw. Burley is currently polymorphed. Monkarn could be in trouble. He portals back, but it's hook point. It's a small map. It's very easy for Waz to get back on target. I'm not a fan of this map selection. Monkarn just locked down for so long. Lingering Psychic Shell, as well as the Diffuse Magic, as well as the Fortifying Brew, as well as the Touch of Karma, as well as getting bopped on it, as well as being dead. You can't pick a small map into this aggressive all-in Method Black. All right, Joel is sapped. Are they spiting? They're playing Spites this time around as Monkarn got Ride the Wind. He gets cheap shot. Did he get cheap shot on the Flying Serpent kick? I actually am very afraid for Joel right now. Goodness. Is he going to survive? That's so much corruption overload. He gets a double blinding sheep, but he's just dying through every single
nice
cooldown.
Stun.
20% remaining health, holding on. Stun now on Burley. Death Strike after Death Strike. Waz is just out of nowhere going to explode. What happened in this game right now?
That was
nice. I was thinking Joel is dead 100% through everything.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, the disruption from Joel early on was quite nice. I mean, Monkarn had to trade a lot of his defensive cooldowns, but he still has Trinket. Burley, of course, still has a Spirit Link. He has Ascendance. There's quite a bit for them to work with. They just have to make sure they don't under-respond to the next attempt. They're probably going to have to use the Trinket early, try to get out of line of sight. Method Black looking to set up right now. Full kidney shot on Monkarn. Going to be taking a decent amount of damage. The Spite Trinkets drop out. Monkarn runs out of it. He's using Ride the Wind, so needs to make sure he's sitting in that Ride the Wind to avoid the corruption. But Raikou snipes him with the counterspell, blinks over, and just removes him from the game.
Icebound Fortitude, I really don't think they can afford to stay out in the open like this. They have two options. One is get back to the pillar and heal up, Death Grip them to the pillar and try and live, or just lose right now. Spirit Link Totem and Trinket have to trade out. Or they have to do a split, where the Windwalker chases the Ellie and the DK chases the Boomkin. But if they leave any spellcaster completely open, they're going to be torn apart, as they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're just dying. This is crazy. You know, you were talking about Burley as potentially the best shaman in Europe right now. He's really struggling with the power of the elements and the stars here from Wildcard Gaming. So much damage. Now a full Hex connected by Zeepai. This could be Nights Out. We've got Joe using his anti-magic shell. He doesn't have any cooldowns left. Now full Hammer of Justice connects from Looney. The Star Surges get the kill in just 2 minutes. The Moonkin Elemental has secured the game. Yeah, I mean, potentially. Blizzo's been taking a lot of damage. Looney has to use his Divine Shield here. There's so many cooldowns being forced out by the Bergen boys, but they're just going after Burley. Did anyone teach him that lightning sometimes does strike twice? is able to survive. The darkness comes through, overlapped with the Trinket and the Ascendant. So a lot of cooldowns on both sides and an explosive game 2 here. But Looney, as you said, he's not running the Ineffable Truth, isn't going to have access to that Divine Shield for a very long time. And they recognize that, they're going after him, but they are stunned. And they blow up Looney to tie up the series in this game.
Beautiful crowd control here. Exactly what I was talking in the pregame. Paralyzed Shaman, Clone Death Knight, burst down Demon Hunter, knock him out of darkness. I mean, right now, Monkarn is looking like Wildcard Gaming's plaything. They're just having their way with him. He's not able to get anything going at the moment. Looney is maxed out on mana. I mean, at any moment, Burley could just die if they roll in for a leg sweep as well. They could maybe Ring of Peace them out into the open. There's so many options right now to take out the Bjergen boys on Tolvaron Arena. They're posted up in the Earthen Wall Totem at the moment, trying to take advantage of that damage reduction, but they're standing in line of sight of both Maro and Zeepai. They could get crowd controlled. This is amazing pressure. Triple leg sweep by Looney. Huge damage. Cyclone follow-up. Excellent execution. Wildcard Gaming make this composition look absolutely insane. Will they be able to win with such a deficit? They're moving in. Maro wants to get crowd control on Burley, and it looks like Looney wanted to try and drink, but he's going to crowd control Monkarn. Voxy takes a huge hit. Burley's in crowd control. Monkarn breaks it to disrupt it, getting Burley out of the solar beam, but into a cap totem. Can they get follow-up? They interrupt the Hex. Beautiful spell lock. That spell lock could win them the game. Looney's trying to get into line of sight to save the day, but he walks into a paralyze. Beautiful timing into the leg sweep. Excellent execution by the Bjergen boys. Everybody is rotting. The power of the dots at 30% dampening is surely sinking in at this point. Joel getting bursted once again. Cocoon in 1 second. Life Cocoon is up. He presses it right before the Hex. Maro is suddenly low on health. Looney has to pop Avenging Wrath. Signs of life here. Maro is still not topped off. Monkarn Cyclone though at low health. Burley has got a lot of work to do on this Mystery River, rolling away from Looney, trying to avoid that Hammer of Justice, repositioning the grip Maro. He's trying to escape. Fists of Fury are flying. Avenging Wrath is actually fading pretty shortly. Don't attack into Thorns! Thorns is up! Stop it! Stop hitting into Thorns right now. Please stop hitting into Thorns. They're just attacking into Thorns. There's no way, Joel. Anti-magic zone gets dropped. He's hiding in the purple barrier. Burley is still cycloned. Joel wants to Death Strike, but no one's next to him. I need to leave the barrier and try and Death Strike. All right, I'm going to run away with Wraithwalk instead. Oh no, a Thing from Beyond!
Oh no! No, the Thing from Beyond! That's so tragic.
Oh, man.
How is he going to do it? He's somehow crawling his team back into the fight, charging up over towards Looney. Is he going to go for crowd control? He's trying to line of sight a counterspell. Maro's counterspell is up. Chaz is so terrified of both Polymorph and counterspell right now. As long as Maro sits on his counterspell, Chaz is never going to be able to cast. Raikou is so low. Cauterize is the last thing left. He's running for his life. Blizzo is chasing him down. He blinks the lead. He scorches away. Kiting with the Flame Strike Snare. Chaz goes for the Divine Favor heal while Maro was interrupted on Arcane. Beautiful coordination. Now it's done on Maro. It's Method Black look to turn it around. Can they get the Ice Block? Maro Temp Shields denies it, but Looney's actually out of mana. The littlest bits of damage are starting to sink in on both sides here. Looney is trying to drink. Maro is going to have to trade Cauterize Ice Block for this. Cauterize triggers. He gets counterspelled. Chaz is feared. Looney is polyed. Maro has to block. Chaz has to shield. Nobody really has anything left to work with at this point, but Chaz stabilizes, whereas Wildcard Gaming, they are in utter chaos at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the
Spike
Spice
Blind.
with the blind. Oh no, this
There's
is
no
disastrous.
way.
They have to kill Waz right now, or this is over for Wildcard Gaming. Can they find the executes? Terminator Blizzo looking for it. Triggers out of the sheep. Do they have the sacrifice? They don't. This is going to be a cross kill. Surely Maro goes down here. There's no way, right?
Looney? He's doing it. Raikou has counterspell. Why is he not counterspelling Looney?
I think
Maro
he's
is
gonna
so
live.
low. Dampening's at 69%. Things from Beyond are spawning on Blizzo. Looney has 0 mana.
gets a full
Chaz
wrap.
gets the Repentance. He triggers Repentance. Blizzo moves over to the Paladin to attack. Raikou tapped out. Why did Raikou tap out?
He quit? Are you
He
serious?
actually forfeited.
You
Why
can't
did he tap
quit
out?
there, man. You gotta try it.
Finally catches a big heal there, but still down to 50%. Chaz activating a big life cocoon there to keep his team aggressive, keep Swapsy going, and I don't know if Maro's going to be able to survive here.
Yeah, it's not looking very good for Wildcard Gaming, is it? I mean, Looney's going to have to do so much healing. The rally is also going to fall, and Blizzo is the one that ultimately gives his life to tie up the series.
Paladin can dispel it with that Blessing of Protection, but Chaz holding on to that cooldown, trying to save it for Raikou when he really needs it. And right now, that early advantage that Wildcard forced on the Raikou Ice Block It's starting to kind of fade away. They still forced Chaz's bubble. They still forced Wise's trinket and his evasion. So now all of a sudden, your win condition is swapping over onto the rogue more so than the healer, and we're gonna see it right here. Destroyed! Beautiful setup, and this is what I'm talking about. Wildcard game.
Killing Swapsy, I mean, most certainly needs to be the target this deep into Dampening. Chaz locks Blizzo away. Blizzo blade storms through it. He's desperate to try and go after Chaz. Double leg sweep, but he pre-vitality conduited. Chaz is healing right back to full health. Nice play. Now everybody on the side of Wildcard Gaming is in crowd control. Cauterize is likely to trigger. They just need a tiny bit more damage to push for it. They get denied by the Dragon's Breath. Life Cocoon comes in the nick of time, and now Swapsy, big turnaround. Huge pressure from Blizzo's avatar. Disarm out of the stun, denying the Dust Strikes for a few moments, but Chaz seems to be stabilizing him. Maro polymorphs Raikou, just trying to stop damage for Looney. Looney portals back. Is he going to try and drink? How much mana can Looney get? Swapsy's stabilized. Blizzo's in trouble. He's stunned with no trinket. They swap over to Blizzo. Looney gets stunned. He didn't generate too much mana. Die by the Sword immediately is forced, but a polymorph has been landed, and 2 targets are low at 60% dampening. This is looking unrecoverable. Rallying Cry boosts their health for a moment, but they are pushing and pushing and pushing. Raikou jumping in with the Metamorphosis. Dressed being dropped. Just a tiny bit more damage to find that Cauterize. They find it, but Swapsy is dying amidst all the chaos. Blizzo is going to kill Swapsy. Is this actually unbelievable? Swapsy goes down.
He's going to kill them all.
Blizzo at 1% leaps
Raikou
away and falls to Chaz. Maro and Looney with no mana against a Demon Hunter Mistweaver. And I'm sure every player in chat knows how bad Demon Hunter is in 2v2 to face. Oh, they should be walking away with this. Method Black are going to tie it up, but that's a little bit too close for comfort.
Even with that, they're starting to create some good pressure in the situations, and Raikou does seem to be the person who is the focal point of that.
All right, let's see if they can keep it up here. They really they have to win a swing match at some point. Chaz gets out of the solar beam, but Raikou is being absolutely destroyed. Maro's Incarnation getting some big value there, and
that corruption reaching maximum capacity. That was an amazing setup there by Wildcard Gaming, but they used all of their crowd control for it, and Chaz was just free healing through it. If somehow Maro could have sniped the Dragon's Breath poly in the midst of that, that could have been huge for them. But for now, Raikou's going to be able to walk out of that one relatively safe, and now the pressure onto Maro once again turning. Big Dressed hit, taking huge damage, imprisonment onto Looney. Maro gonna just go down right there. Cauterize procs, and he's just gonna die through. Another spite, and Swapsy survives. 8 stacks on that Eye of Corruption though, so he has finally moved out of it. 9 stacks, another one spawn. He's gonna be, you can see, I almost want to see a Ring of Peace thrown onto Swapsy. They're trying to bounce him back in the direction where he was running from, just because he had so many stacks. It's percentage based, so when you have 10 stacks, you're going to be taking a huge amount of damage just from that eye. Unfortunately though, Swapsy now is activating his Dark Soul, and he's looking to get big beefy bolts out. Let's see if he can find it. Goes for the Immolate here. Blizzo, Chaos Bolt, he tries to juke it. Gets a Life Cocoon immediately there. Looney not gonna waste any time. He knows Dark Soul has been activated. You just press Cocoon, and it's a pretty good trade. You're gonna have that back. And right now you can see both of these mages just looking for an opening on the other healer. They're trying to do as much damage as possible to Blizzo and Swapsy, and whoever healer has to go out first and heal, that's the one that's most likely to get crowd control, and it is going to be Looney. Blizzo taking damage here. Could just go down.
He had Trinket. He had had all of his cooldowns.
He had everything.
Oh no, that's devastating.
On the other hand, they had a little bit of a bumpier road. They did have a huge upset happen with the Bergen Boys able to take them down. Then they end up having to play against them again. Both of those go to game 5, but they get to change history just a little bit in the losers finals to get to the grand final. But Method Black, we have to talk about not only this victory, but Healing Stat, all of the victories. This is a team that comes out and just wins cup after cup after cup.